Yo, child, how's everyone doing tonight? This is yours truly, the South. How's everyone doing today, man? God bless you all. This is yours truly, the Sachi, also known as the YNL Real Talk Show. We're gonna do a quick reaction here, chat, on what's going on with Charlie Kirk and how now the left is playing it off that it wasn't them, that it was Trump. She's crazy out here, chat.
Berg. Listen to what Whoopi Goldberg has to say now.
And what assassins should always remember is just because you take somebody out doesn't mean the message is going to stop. Yeah. And it's important to keep that in mind because...
Oh, it's too late because you know you have fucked up.
When you look at our loss of Martin Luther King or name anyone who's been assassinated in this country, we continue to fight on. And that's what America offers. It says, listen,
on, folks,
you have the right to say and feel however you want. That is a birthright. You're born with that right. So taking somebody out is not the way to do it. You want to fight about something, then go to the ballot box. Go elect.
We already did, Whoopi. Dude. Yeah, we already did. His name is Donald Trump. He's your president.
This is the gayest
won the
generation
popular
in
vote,
American history.
won every swing state, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Different people. Killing people doesn't do anything except make it a horrible world for their children.
Well, you
We'll be
promoted
right
it.
back.
Yeah, all the hate, all the lies that The View has spewed over the last decade, and now you want to try to have a level head? It's too late for that.
Yeah, she's crazy.
It's too late. You sat up there every day and said Donald Trump was a fascist and a Nazi. You sat up there every day and said Donald Trump needs to be arrested. You sat up there every day and accused him of things that were absolutely not true. Now you want to have a conversation.
Yep.
No, thank you.
That's how they are.
No, thank you. I'm not going to try to say your name, but thank you for the $50. I'm a Polish guy living in Germany, and this is really not only about America anymore. We all are Charlie Kirk now. He will be remembered as a saint. God bless all the good people in the world. Hail the 199. Thank you, brother, so much.
Yeah, that was good.
I'll make sure to have Fear the Beardo say your name on Tuesday night's main event since he can pronounce things better than me.
You know,
but thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. That's of course. I mean, I may have fired Beardo. I don't know. That's the rumor on the internet. It's like I'm gonna fire him now. But absolutely, fat. Well, Omar.
This is wild, chat. All this is like starting to not make sense.
Night. Antifa terrorist showed up and destroyed it because of course they did, because this is what these people are. They're evil, they're horrible, and I am just disgusted but you know, let me show you this. So
this is wrong.
It's as loud as I can get. I could tell it's a little quiet when I played it, so let's see here. Nope, I don't have a YouTube cut. This is the best we can do right here.
No demonization, amplification about that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her by somebody who knew her. The same. Now you could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person.
I've already addressed this. For fuck's sake, Jeremy, get the audio volume extension Asman uses. I've already addressed this. I have it, but it doesn't work on shitty StreamYards. If I used OBS, I could, but then I couldn't highlight your wonderful comments calling me gay. So which do you want? You want me to highlight your wonderful comments calling me gay or boost the audio?
So don't use your, what about this? The fact of the matter is the both sides argument not only doesn't fly, we don't care. We don't care about your both sides argument. That shit is dead. For one thing, there is no cognitive dissonance on our side. On your side, you're beliefs do not match reality. So you're coming up with these rationalizations like, what about this? Or what about that? We're not doing that because we saw it happen. We saw a young, bright man assassinated, and we know who did it. We are not coming up with rationalizations. We are calm. We are
This
honest,
is the gayest
and
generation
we are
in American
resolute.
history.
We're not defensive, and I understand the defensiveness. I understand why people are saying, what about this and what about this? Because if you have to face the underlying fact to this, your life is going to fall apart because you're going to realize
America
you're not
deserved
the good
9/11,
guys.
dude.
If you sat around and you defended the mutilation of children, you're not the good guys. If you sat 600, 700 cases of harassment against Republicans, and you said, but what about this, what about this? And then you see this murder after calling somebody a fascist, you realize maybe I'm not the good guy. That is a hell of a realization to deal with. So therefore, you have to grasp at rationalizations. You don't have to do that, Jessica. They do. I don't believe you're part of that group, but why the hell do you have to mimic and echo that crap to us? He was a patsy. That guy was a patsy. He was under the hypnotic spell of a direct-to-consumer nihilism, the trans cult, and you know that. If you can decide that biology is false, you can agree that murder is okay and that humanity is expendable. How you cannot see that alone and see that for what the evil it is without having to attach all of these other things is beyond me.
I just want to be clear. I want to let people speak. I in no way intended at all to minimize what happened to Charlie. I was horrified by it. I have not been on the five
but
since
the two
then,
sides argument, well, it's like pig Latin to a duck.
No. All that I was saying is could we have all of the information before you just say they did this? Because that
We already fucking know they did it. They talk about it all day long on social media. What the fuck are you talking? This is why we knew who did it. We knew who did it because they constantly promote this shit. They are constantly fantasizing about the death of Donald Trump, about the death of JD Vance, about the death of Elon Musk, about the death of anybody that calls them out on their bullshit. This is how we fucking know.
China.
And guess what? We were right. Once again, he was a fucking weirdo lefty who was into transgender bullshit. He hated Charlie Kirk. We knew
America
this.
deserved 9/11, dude.
that is a broad brush to paint with this. And this kid
Let's
does
have
seem...
a conversation.
No.
Charlie had a conversation. He got shot. Look,
I
I'm sorry,
understand.
Jessica. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You weren't here for a week. You came in here and it's cold. And I'm sorry, but this is a story that is immune to news cycles. It's immune to rationalizations. It's immune to bias. This thing is with us for good. And we all have to deal with that. So that means we can't live by the same arguments that you might be reading about relativism among the media. We can't deal with those stories. It doesn't matter. The media is dead to us on this story. They built this thing up. We're dealing with it. We're going to act. We don't care what the whataboutism is anymore. That shit's dead. Sorry. For the swearing as well. I apologize to the American public. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the show. Yes.
That is the energy we need. That's the energy we have to continue to have, because the frustration level from people is we're done, man. That's what I'm talking about.
So watch this other video that I thing upon. Where's my brother at? Right here.
Republican in the last election. He allowed leftists to speak, and in doing so, they revealed that they were unhinged, incoherent, dangerous radicals, which is why they killed him. A day after Charlie Kirk was assassinated while debating college students in Utah, I said that it was important to gather as much information as possible before drawing any conclusions about culpability and before implementing the kind of crackdown on left-wing extremism in this country that for many years we've all suspected would be necessary. Well, now, several days later, we have gathered those facts. The assassination of Charlie Kirk was unequivocally an act of LGBT terrorism. Now, more evidence will come out soon, and that's also what I've been told personally from sources who are familiar with the FBI's investigation. But already, the evidence is overwhelming. Charlie was murdered by a leftist who was in a relationship with a man who identifies as transgender, a man who identifies as a woman. The shooter engraved his ammunition with messages that are commonly used by left-wing Antifa groups, calling Charlie a fascist, as well as a reference to a fetish subculture. Days before the murder, several trans-identifying individuals and people in their social groups posted messages on social media indicating that they were aware that the assassination would soon take place. One of those messages read, "Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him literally. Let's just say something big will happen tomorrow." The account that posted that thread is now suspended from X. Another post from 5 days before the shooting indicated that something big was coming soon.
This is the gayest
Then after the shooting, the author wrote, "Well, that's that, and another chud bites the dust." Here's another. This one was written on September 3rd. It begins, quote, "It'd be funny if someone like Charlie Kirk got shot on September 10th. Now, the username of the author of this post, as Cassandra McDonald of Gateway Pundit has pointed out, is Tally Hall Album. And coincidentally enough, the man who shot Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson, had a publicly visible playlist of songs by the band Tally Hall on Spotify. And additionally, the shooter's trans-identifying boyfriend, McDonald reported, was active on the Tally Hall subreddit. Now, this is just a sample of some publicly available posts that appeared to predict Charlie's murder. We can obviously assume, based on these posts, that the actual number of people with advanced knowledge of the attack was probably quite high. Additionally, shortly after the assassination, another post written by someone who was in the same friend network as the trans-identifying man who was dating the shooter read simply, "We effing did it." And then a pro-trans organization in Utah called Armed Queers SLC took down its Instagram page entirely. According to New York Post, Armed Queers SLC has a, quote,
So, chat, before we get started, I just want to say something. Say thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your beautiful support, sharing, and commenting. Right now on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, if you would love to help the channel grow, people be asking me, besides you, what can I help you? Whatever, help the channel grow. I know you need a new microphone. What can I help you at? So if you would like to help the channel grow, there is Cash App and PayPal, and yeah, and I really appreciate it. And you guys will see what I'm doing with the money you guys send for the support of the channel. It's not like I'm gonna go take it and go into no. It's gonna be reinvested in here, and we're gonna do giveaways in my wife's church. So let me put my thing on it. Jesus, I gotta get used to this. So if you guys wonder, I keep looking this way. I'll show you right here so you guys don't think I'm lying, making stories up. Look. Oh, there goes that camera. So, right here. So I'm streaming. Okay. I got this little box right here. This cheap-ass microphone. As you guys see, look, it's a cheap-ass brand. So, don't think I'm asking for anything just so I can look cute. No. I do need a mic. If you would like to help the channel grow, chat. I'm over here drinking outdated Kool-Aid. I didn't notice. It said 224.24. I didn't know this halfway drinking it. That's how old it was. So let's get back to the show, chat. And I apologize for this.
Logo that features two high-powered rifle rounds similar to the one that struck Kirk. The group also, quote, hosted a lecture on queer resistance at the University of Utah in September 2023, around 45 miles from Utah Valley University, where the 31-year-old Turning Point USA founder and Trump ally lost his life. Even people with direct knowledge of the shooter continued to protect him after the assassination. The New York Times is reporting that members of the shooter's Discord channel were joking with him about the possibility that he was the shooter based on the photographs released by the FBI. And yet none of the members of this Discord group actually turned him in. And this is all evidence on top of a number of officials telling us, including the governor, that he was heavily indoctrinated into left-wing extremism, hearing these sources from the family, from people who knew him. So the evidence, again, is absolutely overwhelming. But maybe the clearest possible sign that Charlie was murdered as part of a coordinated leftist campaign to terrorize conservatives is that over the past several days, his comrades have tried to disown him. even as hundreds of thousands of leftists openly gloat over Charlie's murder, and this is everyone ranging from neurologists to school teachers to military service members to entertainers to the chief of police of Durham to the entire population of Reddit and Blue Sky. Even as all that's happening, these same leftists are pretending, in defiance of all the evidence and of basic common sense, that the shooter was actually a MAGA white supremacist. They're pushing the fantasy that Charlie Kirk was murdered because he wasn't right-wing enough. Now, they know that it's not true. They know that no rational person could possibly believe it, but they're saying it anyway. The official talking point of the left is that Charlie was killed by the right. This is a maneuver that, for communist regimes, has always been an old standby. They don't actually care about their foot soldiers, even foot soldiers who throw their lives away for the cause. They certainly don't care about the truth. All that matters to leftists is their collective mission.
You're certainly not very
The shooter fulfilled part of the left's mission by killing Charlie, by murdering someone who dared to engage them in free and open debates that they could not win.
Is dead.
And now the shooter is fulfilling another mission. He's a useful tool to defame and malign the right. Now, there are too many examples on this front to list, but here's a few. We'll start with Reddit, one of the many cesspools that should immediately be investigated by federal authorities as a breeding ground for domestic terrorism. But here's a sample of the post. Quote, "The Bella Ciao thing found on the ammo casings is a Nick Fuentes thing. He seems like an online Nick Fuentes groyper. Yep, groyper.
I haven't been to the grocery store in months because this delivery service offers hundreds of high-quality, non-GM
have been against Charlie Kirk for a long time. Then when someone asks what a groyper is, the response is, quote, alt-right, white nationalist, Christian nationalist followers of Nick Fuentes. Now, it's impossible to overstate how aggressively this message is being pushed on Reddit and Blue Sky. It's also all over Facebook. It's all over the internet. The media is toying with this message as well. It's not an exaggeration to say that the majority of leftists probably believe it. They're claiming that a gay man who was dating a trans-identifying man, who openly told his family and friends that he hated Charlie Kirk, who was steeped in left-wing ideology, according to the governor of Utah, who wrote Antifa messages on the bullet casings, who accused Charlie of being a fascist, was actually, in truth, a big fan of Nick Fuentes, was a big right-wing guy. To be clear, Antifa terrorists have been citing the Bella Ciao song for a long time, as Andy Ngo has pointed out, including in 2019 when an Antifa shooter cited the song in a manifesto before attacking an ICE facility. So there is a record, there's a precedent, not just for this Bella Ciao thing to be used by the far left, but for it to be used by the far left when they're carrying out domestic terrorist attacks. Additionally, one of the ringleaders of Antifa in Los Angeles owns a company called Bella Ciao Cinema. This is an old World War II song that's been repurposed by Antifa today. Everyone who looks into this knows it. It's very obvious. But in the left-wing feeder swamps, they're pretending otherwise. Prominent outlets like CNN are doing their best to further the same narrative. Take a look at this screenshot of CNN's homepage the other day. There are 9 stories about Charlie's assassination. None of them discuss the shooter's motive or his belief in left-wing ideology and his connection to transgenderism. None of them discuss the gloating of leftists or the messages that predicted the attack. Instead, the stories are about the job that Cash Patel would be, which he wasn't at all. That's still obviously. And they tell highly disturbed individuals, particularly people who identify as trans, that they're being genocided by these fascists. They'll open the prisons and allow the most deranged member of technology can be sent to federal prison. All of these steps it means we need to utterly destroy every left-wing terror cell like the one that killed Charlie. And it also means that we need to destroy the criminal institutions that are enabling their insanity rather than treating it. And then we have to move up the chain of leftist terror to the nonprofits, the billionaires.
I asked for surrender 5 times before we attacked Warsaw. Everything was refused. I asked that the women and children be sent out of the area. Not even the parliamentarian was received. Everything was rejected. And only then did I decide to do what is permitted under any martial law. When the English started dropping bombs, I waited a month or two and did nothing. We were already strong enough to do it. I waited.
Come on, folks, hurry up and plant that bomb.
I love you guys. See you in the next one.